Arthur Smith is fired up about this, and Tomlin's fired up. Like, what are you hearing internally about this, Gerry?
I would say Mike Tomlin, as you well know, Rich, is jacked about this one. And of course, I've heard, and I haven't dealt with Russell only for one day, the stories about Denver and the locker room and how he gets along. If you can't get along with Mike Tomlin, 99.9% of the players who either play for him or dealt with him want to play for the guy, or they love him for playing for him. And so I can't imagine Russell Wilson having some type of whatever they claim that happened in the other room, in the other locker rooms, a negative impact. Maybe disruptive is a little too strong. I can't imagine that happening with Mike Tomlin, but I will tell you, with the way he was beaming, standing there alongside Russ Wilson the other day during the press conference, I think he's totally happy with the moves they made. And let's not forget the pickup of Patrick Queen, which to me is the biggest acquisition of all.
I agree, Gerry. That one was that you want to talk about on brand. Now that's on brand for the Steelers, where you're going to take somebody like Patrick Queen who can go sideline to sideline and then downhill and thump and be right in the middle of that Steelers defense, and you take him from Baltimore on top of it. Now that is what I'm used to seeing from Pittsburgh. I'm with you on that one for sure. And the remaking of the quarterback room is an absolute coup, certainly since you're not committed. You even just said, that the Steelers aren't going to pick up Justin Fields' fifth-year option. Now, they do have the option of saying, we'll sign you to a longer-term deal for less money annually. So it makes complete sense to do all that. But again, I'm kind of stunned that based on Russell Wilson's last couple of years, that the Steelers are ready to just say, the gig's yours. There's no competition, and we're bringing in Justin Fields. There's no competition. This is it. So let's ride, Steelers Nation. It's kind of surprising, Gerry. I'm not going to lie.
Rich, I get your point. Russ Wilson threw 26 touchdowns last year. That's twice as many as Kenny Pickett threw in 2 years. I will say this for the Steelers. And after Art Rooney came out, the team president, after the season, and basically said his patience is running thin and, quote, it's time to win some playoff games, they are not standing pat. And that was a directive pretty much to Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin to don't be satisfied with 10-7. We need to do something. And they are doing something. And I don't think they're done. So I give them credit. 10-7 isn't good enough. The last couple of years, we hear all about the 17 consecutive non-losing seasons. But 7 years without a playoff win for a team that the franchise that has 6 Super Bowl trophies, and the 10-7 isn't good enough. You know what? Good for them. And I think everybody here is glad to see, when I say here, I'm talking about the fan base, of course, and probably nationally, that they're thrilled and excited to see these moves being made, despite being a playoff team, albeit a playoff team that lost another playoff game for the 5th consecutive time.
So when you say they're not done, you mean bringing in a receiver named Mike Williams, who they'll pay, who they'll pay more than what the other Mike Williams wanted, Gerry? Is that what you're saying?
Or bigger is all I will tell you, Rich, and we shall see. But that is another step that they are going to make. And like I said, it might not even be Mike Williams. It might be a bigger catch, if you will, no pun intended, than that. But if they traded Deontay Johnson, once again, they don't want hostages, they want volunteers. And he was a disruptive influence, and they weren't going to tolerate it. And so, again, good for them. We'll see how it plays out, but good for them.
Or bigger. Huh. I don't even know who that could be. Gerry, you're just dropping nuggets, man. You're dropping breadcrumbs here.
I have to with you because you peruse everything I say, so I'm glad I can at least give you a little heads up if possible.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not telling you it's going to happen. I'm just telling you don't be surprised, as I told people with Justin Fields.
Okay, so while the Steelers are doing very un-Steeler-like things right now, like this is as off the rails as the Steelers get, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Any chance they say sure to Hard Knocks? because I would love to see the way this plays out. I'd love to see it all on camera. I want to see Russ and Ciara going to Permane Brothers. I want to see, I want to see it all. Any shot Tomlin says okay to NFL Films coming in and letting us in? What do you think?
That would be the shocker of all shocks if Mike Tomlin agreed to that. That, as you probably know, is not in his DNA. And so if that happens, then I would be really surprised.
I mean, that would be, honestly, this is the story. This is the story of the NFL going into next season, without a doubt, because of the way the last few seasons have been, because Tomlin is Tomlin, the Steelers are the Steelers, Russ is Russ, Fields is Fields, and it's a shakeup. It's a total shakeup with some of the same names, on defense, right? If
nothing else, Rich, it's generated a ton of excitement here. Okay. And when you look at this team, Patrick Queen, they signed him to a big deal, the largest they've ever given a free agent. Their defense was already, if not the highest paid defense in the league, it was among the highest. Putting Patrick Queen in there, I'm sure, keeps them right at the top. Conversely, their offense has to be the cheapest offense in the National Football League in terms of payroll. Both quarterbacks don't cost them any amount of money. Their running backs are on rookie contracts. Their wide receivers are on rookie contracts. Their tight end is on rookie contracts. Their right tackle and their left tackle are on rookie contracts. The only guy who counts any amount of money are the two guards, Ciamalo and James Daniel, and they don't break the bank. So it is the lowest paid offense in the league, so there's plenty of room to add to that offense.
That's right, and with the 20th overall pick coming up. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.